Hi, thanks for volunteering for the AV team at Grace Bible Church. This video is a tutorial on how to set up and run the live stream for a typical Sunday service. While we will cover GBC's ProPresenter settings during this tutorial, it's important to note that this is not a ProPresenter tutorial. If you have any questions, or if you're not sure how to do something in ProPresenter, I encourage you to just faithfully Google it. There are plenty of other tutorials and instructions available online. Now, without further delay, let's get started. Typically, the music team arrives for rehearsal and sound checks around 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. First, you'll want to turn on the equipment in the booth: the computer, the soundboard, the video switcher, which is only powered on by its power cable here, and its monitor, and the wireless video receivers located on the shelf above the booth. Then you'll turn on the projectors, one in the front and one in the rear of the sanctuary hall. Now you can place the cameras into their positions. Camera 2 is on the dolly that sits next to the booth, pointed straight down the aisle, and there's a power cable to plug it in. Camera 3's position is at the front of the sanctuary hall, just off stage, near the organ. Each camera can be turned on and needs a battery pack inserted into the wireless transmitter, which is mounted on top. While the music team rehearses, you can adjust the levels of each instrument and microphone. This is called setting the mix, and it can take some practice to develop a good ear for it. Try to make sure no one is excessively louder than anyone else. You'll see on the board there are several output mixes here on the right-hand side. The main mix is labeled LR. That's the sound going to the main speakers in the hall. Below that are monitor mixes. These are pointed at the stage for the music team to hear themselves. During rehearsal, they will ask to be turned up or down depending on their preference. The final mix you need to monitor is the live stream mix on the button labeled 910. That mix can be monitored on this set of headphones. For the most part, you'll want this mix to match the main mix on LR, but with some slight adjustments as necessary. First, open ProPresenter. It can take a few minutes to load. Typically, someone from the music team or the pastor has already begun building the playlist for Sunday. If not, here's a quick rundown of how to do that. Just duplicate last week's playlist, remove last week's songs and sermon, open Dropbox to find this week's sermon and drag it over. Use the search feature to find and add songs by dragging them onto the playlist. Then, you'll have to work with the music team to make sure the arrangements for each song match how they want to perform it. The next step is very important for the live stream. See here on the right side of ProPresenter are several macros. These macros tell ProPresenter how to send a certain look to the live stream. One is labeled music. This makes the lyrics appear as a lower third graphic, kind of like a sing-along. Simply click and drag that macro to the first slide on each song. Many songs already have this macro added, so you'll only need to check and add it to the ones that don't. Next, you'll have to add the sermon macros. These are clearly labeled based on what each sermon slide contains. scripture, list, media, or blank. You must drag the corresponding macro to every single slide in the sermon. While you are adding macros, you can keep an eye on the preview window in the upper right to see how it will look. Make sure the preview window is set to OBS and just click through the slides. We use OBS to broadcast our live stream. Open that program now. Make sure that Sunday service is the selected scene. OBS has several audio and video inputs that make up a scene. Make sure there is video coming in from ProPresenter and audio coming in from the device labeled Focusrite. Lastly, you can open Chrome, the icon labeled Livestream Account, and go to YouTube. Then, the Go Live page. Now you are ready to go live. Once you have everything set up, you can run the pre-show slideshow. Click Trigger here at the top so the countdown timer will run correctly. Then click any slide to start. At 10:30 a.m., go into OBS and click Start Recording, which makes a backup recording on the PC. Then Start Streaming, which sends the broadcast feed to YouTube. Now open the YouTube page. In about 30 seconds, the Go Live icon will turn blue. Click that when it does. You are now broadcasting live. While it's possible to run the live stream alone, it's much easier with two people, and the responsibilities split between running slides on ProPresenter and video switching with soundboard control. During music sets, you will change the slides along with the lyrics of each song. You can use the arrow keys, or spacebar, or even the mouse to follow along. During the sermon, you'll want to follow along with the pastor's script that he provides in the binder located in the booth. Currently, there are only 3 video cameras set up, with a 4th possibly coming in the near future. You control the video output on this video switcher. Camera 1 is a wide shot of the whole hall, great for fellowship time or anytime the other cameras don't have an angle on someone speaking. Camera 2 is great for sermons or anyone speaking on stage. And camera 3 is great for the music team, as it's right up on stage. It's good practice to switch cameras occasionally to keep the live stream interesting for viewers, but not so often that it becomes distracting. You can also choose between a straight cut or a dissolve by selecting Auto on the switcher. During the service, you can keep an eye and ear on the audio on the soundboard. It usually doesn't need too much adjusting from rehearsal, but during testimony time, the audience microphone often needs adjusting, depending on who's speaking. Once the service is over, go to OBS and click Stop Streaming and Stop Recording. Congrats! You just made it through a live stream broadcast. The entire broadcast will be available on our YouTube page. We like to post the music team and sermon portions as standalone videos. Go to the YouTube page, click End Stream if it hasn't already been, then click Edit in Studio. Select Trim and Cut, scrub the timeline marker to the beginning of the music, then the end of the first music set, and cut. The red section is the cut, so drag the end of that to the beginning of the last music set. Then click Preview, then Save as New. Change the title to Music Team with the date. Then follow the same process for the sermon video. Now you can shut down the computer, soundboard, video switcher, and the video receivers. Turn off the projectors, remove the batteries from the video transmitters and plug them into the charger. Turn the cameras off and move them back into the music closet. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me or anyone else who knows the system, or just faithfully Google it. A lot of your answers can be found online or on another YouTube tutorial. Good luck running your first live stream.